Hey guys, it's the Techie TVI here. I want to apologize first of all for um lack of uploading this week while I was on fall break. I was in a car accident on Monday. I got sandwiched between a big truck and an SUV, and then I came down with strep throat, and it's just been one thing after the other. But we put these things on ourselves when we don't have to, but I really love doing this for you guys, and I was really hoping to have a lot of things up, but I am trying to get at least this up for you, and I did get the 9 more than core thing up for you. What I'm going to show you today is Google Sites. I use the Google site as a way to collaborate with my teachers and parents, and it could also be a way for if you have a team with multiple TVIs on your team, you could communicate and share information, have that readily accessible, or it could be a way for you to organize that team, but you could also use Google Drive for that, which I'm going to do a Google Drive video hopefully soon. I have 2 chapters of a dissertation that are also due on Sunday, so got a few other things I need to take care of, so I don't have to take the class again. But I just wanted to let you guys know that I hadn't forgot about you, and this video is kind of long. I'm going to edit some parts out, but hopefully it's not too terrible long. You can fast forward through me previewing the site for you and just skip to how to make one. Or you could watch how I've used it and the quick general overview. I did have some technical difficulties because I was having to do it on the iPad, but it just consisted of not being able to move the text where I want it. But let's get started. I hope you enjoy this, and I hope you guys are having a fantastic week, and I hope that some of the resources that I've been sharing lately, I know they're not exactly tutorials on how to use tech, but I hope they've been helpful. The first thing I want to show you is how I have set up my website. So the first thing you do is go to Google, and by your profile picture you have the boxes just like how we got to Google Forms, and you'll see on this first page of icons on the 4th row in the middle, it says Sites. So when you click on that, it will take you to this page. It's Google Sites. Now you can see thinking of creating a website in the middle of the page, and on the left you see the Create tab. But if you go down, you'll see New Google Sites. That's where you want to go because it's easier. And excuse my voice, and I'm probably going to say that a bunch. But the first thing I want to do before I show you how I created it is I want to show you my published site as I've got it set up. So the first thing is, as I explained to you before, I use this as a resource for the teachers that I collaborate with. So I just want to show it to you first, and then I'll show you how to add different things and some things that I found out. So this is what they would see if they pull it up on their tablet. And I'm going to switch this to portrait mode. Sorry, I had it landscape. So this is what they'd see if they pull it up. So I just have Carter County Vision Department, and alone I have a nice little Helen Keller quote, alone we can do so little, together we can do so much, because collaboration is so important with our teachers and related service providers, PE teachers. We all know this. I don't have to explain it, but I thought that quote was very fitting for the purpose that I created it for. And then I have my picture, and yes, it's the same shameless selfie, but it's the best picture I have. And then I have my assistant's photo, who I'm going to try to blur out her face, just for her privacy and her name. But that's me, and that's the best picture I got. That's I could put on the website. So I'm sorry, I didn't narrate what I was doing. On the left side, there's the options, and when you click the 3 lines, you have resources, and under resources is in-service materials. Then you have contact, eye conditions, videos, and forms. Because you guys know I'm crazy about my forms. So when I click on resources, it brings me to the resources page. And from there, you see this table of contents. I have Pinterest, and they can click here, and it will automatically take them to my Carter County Vision PTA board on Pinterest. And this is just where I share different activities for teachers to do, some parents, and usually the parent activities or things I think that the parents would benefit from. I'm sorry if you hear my rabbit chewing something in the background. I will share it on my PTA Facebook group. And I'm going to talk about that on another video. But I'm going to go back to Safari now that you've seen all my Pinterest boards. I don't need to be redirected. Alright, so then you'll see available products. This is the 2019-2020 APH catalog. I have had a lot of trouble navigating their site. And when I emailed them, they emailed me the link of the actual catalog. So I just put it on here, and the teachers can scroll through it. And when it's on the computer, they have the option to open it in another tab. Oh, I'm sorry. At the top, you'll see it will come up, which may be hard for our screen readers, but if you have a teacher who is blind or and trying to look through this catalog, they may have a hard time accessing it. But you see this black square with a white square in it and an arrow pointing through the top right corner. That's how they can open it. I'm trying to in a new page. But this allows them to look through, and they can access this at any time. Anybody that has the link can look on this page. And they can look through it when they're at home working on lesson plans. If this week, while they were on fall break, they wanted to look through here to see if there were any products that they wanted, they can do so. And to go with that, on my forms page, I have my product request form. I can't remember what it's called. It's been a crazy week. And then for Facebook, if they click that it will take them to, they can log in. It'll take them to their Facebook, and then they can join the PTA Facebook group. And for that, all that I allow on there are current parents, teachers, related service providers, if they want the access. I just wanted to add that I am in a very rural county, and I do probably have a smaller caseload compared to most urban environments, but because my students are so spread out, having a way for parents to connect to each other is really nice thing for those parents. So that's why I have parents on there. And then each of these links at the top will take them, as I scroll back up to the top, all the links will take them to that section of the resources page. So if I click create accessible PowerPoint presentations, it will take me to this document that I found on Paths to Literacy. And then the next tab is create accessible Word documents. They can scroll through and have that. This is always accessible to the teachers, like I said. And parents have access to this too, because I want them to see what resources there are, and they may be able to find some lessons or activities, or if they're working on Nemeth with their child, they have access to this too. So, and if they see something and they want to ask me about it, it's just keeping the information out there so that we can really communicate and collaborate as a team. The Nemeth tutorial, I shared that the other day. It was through APH, I believe. And it has some pretty good resources. I haven't delved into it a lot, but it just says Nemeth tutorial. And then that has an index, chapter 1 first grade, chapter 2 second grade, and it goes all the way. Chapter 9 starts algebra, chapter 10 is geometry, and it has sections underneath each of those, and it has an explanation and then some exercises so they can practice that, which, okay, so if I click use 6 dot entry, S, D, and F for 3 dots 3, 2, and 1, and JKL for 4, 5, 6. If you're using a QWERTY keyboard for Braille input, you may wish to use the 6-key input mode. So that would be the best way if you were having an assistant practice, or the parents can practice that way. But there's the exercises. Let's see, I don't know if it'll work on an iPad. My hands are too big. Does not work on an iPad. Oh. So you can see that it'd be better if they access the exercises page from a computer. The next part is just some questions that teachers or parents can ask their children or their students to find out what they're actually seeing, because we all know that, can you see this? Well, they might be able to see it, but it's not what they should be seeing or what we are seeing. So these are just some questions that can guide and get them some better information about what they're seeing. Math teaching resources, lessons, and activities for all subjects. I believe it's Perkins. And on the top right, there is a filter by topic. And they can do independent living, career education. So there's some resources for us as well. And then we can also share those. And there is adapted PE, which I think is awesome, because that's what my dissertation is on. But they also have some science activities, some CVI things. Apparently they don't have any CVI things. Literacy and Braille. Just some neat little activities. And like I said, parents have access to this too if they want to make some Valentine cards or just whatever. You can look through it as you want to. The descriptive videos, I've shared that. I do have an account for my whole county. They can log in and use that as they want to. And then tips for adapting worksheets is, again, Paths to Literacy. Because, I am new to the whole itinerant thing, and I'm still kind of remembering things from grad school, and as I'm regaining and practicing this knowledge that I have, it's helpful for me to have quick access to these when I do have a student that I need to specifically share adapting a worksheet or a PowerPoint presentation or a table. I will already have these. So it's just a good thing that if you and your team have, you can say, go to the vision department website, and there are resources on adapting a worksheet or adapting PowerPoint presentations. You get the picture. And then I have my in-service materials, which is just my PowerPoint. If they want a refresher, if they didn't come, which I had a really good turnout. You may hate this. I did a lot more. This was kind of just talking points for me. And we did some activities. I suggest you make your own if you want to. And if you see here, this was just a way for me to kind of explain what these numbers mean to the teachers, to the parents that came, and to kind of put it in perspective. That's the best way that I found to explain it to people that are like, I have no idea what that means. And I explained it to a physical education teacher, and he's like, I totally get it now. That makes so much sense. So, I had good feedback on that. And from the previous TVI was nice enough to come to my first solo in-service. She did help me last year, and so this was my first time flying solo, and she liked this, and I got good feedback from the teachers. Anyway, then we can go back up to the top menu, go to contact. They can click and email me, and they can call or text me. Please don't call or text me unless you absolutely have to. Because honestly, it's so hard to blur some things out on these videos. That's why it's taken me so long to get a new video up. Eye conditions, there's a glossary of eye conditions that parents or teachers can go to. It's from AFB. And then I just have some visuals there. So they can, obviously everything's different. It's just a general, gives them a general idea. And then videos, I only have one video on here right now because I've got a lot going on, and I haven't found other videos that I like to have on here. This is adaptive PE games from Texas TSBVI, Texas School for the Blind and Visually Impaired, and she just shows some things that she does, and it's a really good video. And then forms, you know, I love my forms. So here's my item request form. The teachers have to fill out their name, or if they're filling it out for another teacher, they can put their name. But generally it would be their name, and then what item they like to order. And I have the note, must include name and item name and catalog number. So in the teacher name, they can't submit this form unless they have their name in it. So they may even put the student's name, I don't know, but they always have access to this too, and they can submit it right on the page, and it'll send me an email, so and so filled out your form. I can take it, I can copy the I can put it in my materials request form with the date, what they've requested, the item number, and then I can go into our state's ordering system for quota and order it. Or if it's something specific that they email me, I can put it on my form and then request it through central office. And then I also have my ECC screening form here. So I can say, hey, go to the website, go to the Vision Department website under forms, fill out the expanded core curriculum screening. They can fill it out right here and submit it. And they're done. Not so quick overview, but that's what's on it. So I created a dummy website. So here's my welcome to tech for TVIs. So you can add images. You can make it as plain or as simple as you want to. So you can add videos. So there's my video on Google Forms. You can add images. I can image a carousel. I've not done this. There we go. So those are the images that if you were to pull, if I publish this site, you could flip through those images. There's a link to the Techie TVI page, and then here's a document that you could open, and this is the infused skills checklist needs summary form. I needed to add that to access the options that I'm going to show you, I had to turn my laptop back into landscape mode. So I had it in portrait when I was showing you my website, and I had to flip it back to landscape. Okay, so I'm going to delete this and show you how to add those back. So I want to insert a table of contents. Now, you have to add the headings to the different sections. So here, I would have to add text. So I'm going to click and drag to put it. Oh. I would have to click and drag. Maybe not. It's harder on an iPad. Anyway, so this is going to be my heading. And I'm going to say Google Forms video. Now, you can see that it automatically added that there. So just like on my resources page, you would be able to click there and it would take you to where this heading was. And ideally I would be able to make this work, but getting hit by a large truck at 40 miles an hour does not work good for your brain. Anyway, you get the point. If I need to do a more in-depth how to get that up there, I can do it. But you would be able to, on a computer, click and drag. You can add things from your Google Drive. You can embed things. Like I have on my website, I have the form embedded. You can add images, and what I like about that is you can select images from Google. So you can just search. And you know, I always search for bunnies. And then you can just add that in there. There's a lop. We like lops. So there's a pretty little lop that I've just added to my website. Now, this is a link. So I might want to embed by URL. I'm going to type in www.techietvi.com. It's going to search for it. And you can do a preview of the web page, or you can do the whole page, or you can do a preview. So I'm going to select preview, and you're going to see it's going to do a duplicate of what I've already had in there. Now, this form is so another edit here. I had to edit out my part of my Google Drive because I have students' names on there. But I go to Google Drive in the options on the right of the screen, and I go to my shared drive to show you an example. So you could have just a page for your team, and you could put your schedules on there. You could put the catalog so that if somebody needed it on the go, they could have that. And again, you can see that you can resize the different things that you put on the page. I don't know why this has been so difficult. I'm sorry. I'm just I promise you I know how to do this. So YouTube, I can search Techie TV. And then you can put my video in there, my intro video, and it'll play it right on the web page, just like it does for you on Techie TVI. You can put a calendar. You can do a map. So if you were having maps of where your different schools were, you can put forms, charts. You can do Google Slides, which that's where I had my PowerPoint presentation for my in-service. You can do different pages, so there's my support page, and here you can see that I've done support. Then I can use the different layouts. For example, that's one image with a text. The next one is 3 images and then a text, and then 4 images and a text. Where you saw this on my page was the eye condition pictures. So I had a picture of an eye condition, which I'll show you how you do that. You would tap on it or click it, do select image. I'm going to search, or if it's in your Google Drive, you can go pull it from there. I'm going to search for retinitis pigmentosa. And if I spell it wrong, I'm sorry. And I probably can't find it. I don't know. I'm going to put that in there. Just as an example. And then I can add the text. I'm just going to put RP. How's that? And then you can add whatever you want to in there. You can also add a YouTube video, but you can click and drag these on a computer, and you can put the text above the picture and then the description, however you want to do it. I like the image carousel. I think it's a neat little feature. But I don't have it on mine. But if you were using it with your team, it might be something where if you had multiple TVIs on your team and you were leading the team and you were assigning different students to different caseloads, you could put a picture of the kid, because you could make this just so that only the people on the team with the link have access to it. So you can make it as private or as public as you want. And you can do that by up at the top, you can see this on the top right, there is an icon with a person with a plus sign on the right side. The plus sign is on the left of the icon of the person. So I can publish it so anyone at my school system can find it or view it. I can do specific people, or I can invite people based on their email address. Now, I have had trouble with people outside of my district seeing this. So generally it's better if it's just for people in your group. But you can change the publish settings to do anyone can find and view the published version if you wanted to share it with parents. But anyone at Carter County or your school district would keep it from people that you didn't want to see it seeing it, and then you could go even more to specific people can view when published. So that's kind of like your privacy options. And then you can invite specifically with their email, like I said. Okay, go away. Cancel. Done. You can do site analytics, which I do have site analytics on mine, which just tells me if people are actually using it. You can duplicate it and change it. You can take a tour if you want to know how to do it. And then the publish on the far right, next to your image icon for your account, you see the publish button, and that makes that a live web page, just like you saw mine. You can add a sub page. So from the home, I'm going to put caseloads. And then you could have, let's see, I'm going to do an image carousel. And then, that's not a student, but and you do have to have more than one on the image carousel. So now I have both the image carousels. I'm going to add my text and say this is Miss Black's caseload. Lord. There we go. I promise I can spell. It doesn't look like it today, but I can. It's not one of my stronger things, but I can spell. You can format the text also, edit. You can bold it. And then you would also change that to subheading. So, when you, first of all, you would add a table of contents. So now, Miss Black could check on it, Miss Purple, Miss Green. They would be able to click their caseload. And if you had someone covering someone's caseload, they would be able to go and see what students they were covering for, that kind of thing. Just throwing out ideas. It may be a terrible idea, but if it was just private between your TVI team, if there were more than one in your county, it might be helpful. But this is just to give you some ideas. Like I said, you can change the theme. I have mine as simple, and then I changed the color. I added a background. And you can see as you change the theme, the font and colors change, and some of them you can change the font style also. But I believe I have mine on simple, and then I have that chalkboardy image. And you can change the image when you tap on the heading. Do image. Select image lets you search. They do have a gallery, and I think I got mine from the gallery. I can't remember. But you can select whatever one you want. Again, as complex. Make it look as good as you want, as simple as you want. One of my downfalls is I do tend to go overboard sometimes, and I have to back it up. But you can change this, publish it, and it doesn't send out a notification every time you update it. So you can change it as many times or update it or enhance it as often as you want to, and people will just see the changes as you make them. You can reset and it'll go back. Header type, you can do a large banner, you can do a cover image, then just do a title that might be more visually or less visually cluttering and distracting than with a banner. You can add a logo. It's, like I said, as complex or as simple as you want it to be. Also up at the top right, you have, it looks kind of like a laptop icon with a mobile icon on the bottom or on the right side of it. If you click it, you can see what your website's going to look like. So this is what it would look like on a laptop. So Miss Black's caseload. You see that link. The links won't work when you're in preview mode. But you can see what it's going to look like. So I can go back to home. And you can see I have my two different pages here. But when you have a sub page, you have to click that down arrow. So there's my videos, caseloads, and then my home page. I just click that and it takes me to my home page. So there's my Google Forms video.
Hi guys, that's what Techie TV out here.
The person who sees it is going to see. And then there's my image carousel. Look at those cute bunnies. Isn't it precious? Then they can go to the Techie TVI website, because we all know what a great resource the Techie TVI website is. They can scroll through the APH catalog. See the cool. Ain't that precious? And then they can go to the support page, look at more bunnies, see a picture of retinitis pigmentosa, if that's even retinitis pigmentosa. Thank you, Google. And go back to caseloads and flip through and look at all the students that they have this year or whatever. And you see the title of the web page is training. That's what I have it saved as, but you can change that on yours. So then we can go to iPad. That's what it will look like on an iPad. Then we can go to mobile phone, and that's what it will look like on a mobile phone. And you can access these views from your computer as well. That's really about it. I'm sorry about the issues with me moving the text up and down as I need it, but if I go back to my Google site, maybe not. Okay. If I go back to my Google site, sorry, I got hit hard with strep throat. If I go to my resources tab, there's my table of contents. And you can see that this if I go to the Pinterest section that I have, you can see I have this title. It's Pinterest. And then I forgot to show you guys that. If we go back to on the insert section on the right, that's button. If I add a button, so I'll click it. You can name the button and then put the link in. And then I just add a little description so that they know what they're going to. But that's creating a Google site. I haven't tried it with Microsoft yet, but for Google users, there you go. Um, and again, I want to apologize to you guys for not getting as many resources as I wanted to, which nobody had any idea how much I wanted to get done. But we put these expectations on ourselves. But so I'm sorry that took a lot longer than I anticipated, but I think it's a great tool that we can utilize, especially sometimes with the distance that is between us and classroom teachers or parents and other service providers. But I'm just trying to share some different ideas that may help with effective collaboration. I'm sorry if I've repeated myself 4 or 5 times, but I did want to get at least a tutorial up for you guys this week. I hope you're having a great night or a great day, whatever it is, wherever you are, and I will see you at the next blog post or tutorial.